what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are here on the move-in day for the 2024 SEMA show here in Las Vegas at this ginormous convention center. And of course, we had to start off here at the Nissan booth because guess what? We have some Z performance for you, and it's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Nissan Z. This one is a Z Legend Edition. But before we get into this legendary Japanese sports car, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Nissan Z, been around since 1970, if you could believe that, and it really has had one heck of a journey during its lifetime so far. A lot of changes from that early inception, and then one thing that's always near and dear to my heart, just like I know a lot of Z fans out there, is the racing heritage. You know, you look at people like Steve Millen, you look at people like Morton and Brock Yates, and even Paul Newman. Yes, that Paul Newman, the famous actor, had a lot of success with Nissan over the years. Now, of course, this latest generation, the 7th generation of this Z car, blends in a lot of the past with the present and really keeps that sports car tradition alive at Nissan. But what I want to find out is, did Nissan do it right with this Legend Edition? Why don't we go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, the color. The pearlescent white is one of my favorite colors, especially when you see it in the sun. It just has a nice diamond pop to it. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna see that, like I said, that retro style design, the way they shape the headlights, all LED daytime running lamps, the headlights, the turn signals, and the way they're all nestled so cleanly in that housing, spot on the money. Now, one of the things that you're gonna notice from the side of the vehicle is the additional width. So we're gonna get the fender flares. They've actually taken those from the Heritage Edition. And if you haven't seen my review of the Heritage Edition from the Miami Auto Show, I'll leave it at the end of this one. That was that bright orange Z car that was really tying in a lot of specialness of what the Z means to the enthusiasts. And that's also where this one is going, that Legend Edition. But I love that flared fender. You're gonna notice super smooth, not a bunch of fake vents or anything like that. Along the bottom, you do have a functional vent for brake cooling and aerodynamics, and a little bit of a flat black lip spoiler just on the corner. When you compare this to this new Supra, or the most recent Supra, the Mark V Supra, this design to me is so much cleaner. Now, as we move across the front nose, first seen on the Heritage Edition, now seen on the Legend Edition, you have that split grille setup. Gloss black up top with the horizontal slots, fully functional. Working your way down, more functionality to bring lots of cool air. And then of course, just like on the Heritage Edition, this Legends Edition has that nice lower lip splitter. And I like the way that it's body colored. But let me know what you think about the split grille setup. You know, we talked about the Z NISMO has the G nose, and that really is probably my favorite, is the Z NISMO front end. But compared to the standard Z, I'm really digging this split grille setup. Now, as we rise up, of course, you're gonna have that Nissan badge, so much history, and then the way they do the peak into the hood with that gloss black stripe. And what's great is that the gloss black stripe highlights that raised plateau in the center. And that's another design element that harks back to that 240Z all the way back in 1970. Now, as we come around the bend, of course, we're gonna have different wheels and tires. So we have this multi-spoke design. And what's great about this design is, first of all, very clean, gloss black. And I like the way the spokes are kind of separated around the wheel. And I'm gonna have Steven kind of zoom back in and show you how each of the spokes are actually separated a little bit. Gives it that race style vintage wheel that you see on a lot of Z cars from over the years, whether it's a Datsun Z or a Nissan Z. Of course, if you're wondering, well, what's the wheel size? 19-inch wheel. We got the 4-piston calipers, bright red, nice tomato sauce red with the Nissan name. And tires up front are gonna be 255 on the width, 40 series sidewall, and of course they went through the suspension to fine tune everything. that flared fender looking spectacular. And then as we come down the side, you're gonna have gloss black on your mirror caps. I love the way they do the two-tone on the Z, especially with the white. From the side of the vehicle, it is a little bit larger than a Supra. I'm okay with that. Along the bottom, we have our Legend Edition stripe, that gloss black, just like on the hood. Little bit of flat black on that side skirt extension. And then as we rise up, there is that samurai sword blade that separates our two-tone. This is one of those things, like I said before, when I first saw the Z Proto at Nissan headquarters, I didn't like it very much. But this silver piece has really grown on me, and I'm so glad that it's not shiny silver. It's a nice flat silver with the gloss black. And you'll notice how the gloss black goes all the way past the rear glass. Of course, you're gonna have that updated Z badge. And what's cool is, Steven's gonna zoom in and show you that it's actually a gear. It's a 7-cog gear. The reason why is there's 7 generations of the Z. That's that history. Working our way down, rear fender flares, just like up front, not as wide. And then you're gonna see what is also not the same width is you're gonna have actually wider rear wheels and tires. You have 275 on the width. You have a limited slip diff to get the power down. And of course, you could get this automatic 9-speed or a 6-speed manual. Now, working our way, swinging around, Steven's gonna show off that fender flare that we have there. Love the sexy rear end. This gets a full carbon fiber rear spoiler. And I like the way that they brought the black back nice and far to match in with the stripe up on the hood. We work our way down. You're gonna get that full LED lighting from the Z32 300ZX, one of my favorite, the 300ZX twin turbo, one of my favorite Z cars of all time. Love that carbon fiber rear spoiler. And then this has your standard exhaust slash cut. I would have liked to have seen a NISMO exhaust, so I am gonna zonk that. Would have been nice to have a NISMO exhaust, at least a cat back to give it a little bit more burble. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk horsepower of this special Z. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm okay with that. That ties it in back with the 1970 240Z. I zonked the exhaust because there wasn't any kind of NISMO special catback exhaust, but look at what we have underneath the hood. We have these special design NISMO air boxes for that twin turbo V6. And remember, NISMO stands for Nissan Motorsports. Not only do I love the way the badge looks, but knowing that you're gonna bring in more air for that twin turbo V6, obviously on both sides here, you have your carbon fiber NISMO engine cover. Look at this thing. Beautiful perfection with the carbon fiber. You got the NISMO badge up top, and then you're also gonna have this massive strut tower brace to help stiffen up the front end of this vehicle. So what are we talking about here? We're looking at that 3-liter twin turbo V6, now putting out more than 400 horsepower. And that's what's nice to see, is you're getting some really good horsepower. Made it to a 6-speed manual or a 9-speed automatic. 0 to 60, you're basically looking around 3.8 seconds. So very equivalent to what you're gonna find on a Toyota Supra. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what's special about this Z. All right guys, we are inside this special edition, this Legend Edition Z car. I know you're saying to yourself, well Joe, how much is it? No word yet on official pricing, but expect it to be basically comparable to what the Z Heritage car is all about. And you're basically looking right around $58,000 for that car. But one of the things that I love about the modern Z, this Z, is that you get a little bit of personalization. Even if you're not going with a special edition, they have quite a few different interior colors to choose from. But let's see if this is the best new sports car to get. Let's do it like we do it on Rady's Rides. To the door panel, there's one of those colors. That bright blue just works with the white exterior. Love the clean finish. You have that Alcantara material, and then of course you got a door pocket large enough maybe for 2 Pop-Tarts and a Yoo-Hoo and the Bose sound system. But who the hell's gonna listen to the Bose sound system when you have that twin turbo V6 underneath the hood? Go into the dash, very far forward, the two-tone with the blue, even on the side here, nice to see. And then slide on in, you do have your triple gauges. And I'm so glad that they got rid of that weird digital clock from the previous generation, from the 350 and the 370Z. Of course, we're at SEMA. I can't turn this on, but this is a 9-inch infotainment system. I like the way it's integrated in the dash. One of the things that I would like to see is some type of performance pages with G meters and things like that. You got your standard AC controls, 2 USB-Cs, your drive mode selector switch, and then remember this is going to control your 9-speed automatic. Me personally, I'm going with the 6-speed manual. 2 stages of heated seats, a good old-fashioned mechanical e-brake, and then the seats. Love the finish, the leather, the Alcantara, nice bolstering. You have some manual adjustments, but you also have electric adjustments. So it's a little combination to perfect this interior. And then behind us, you see that bright silver bar? Steven's gonna come in between the 2 seats. That's your rear strut tower brace to stiffen up the back of the car, just like we have the front stiffened up. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I wanna show you the Z wheel in this special icon. All right, guys, this is where you wanna be, the business end of this Nissan Z. What's great is that no matter which Z you go with, it really is the perfect environment to rip through the twisty bits. Pedal box right out of a race car. Love the aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. There's those manual controls, but it's okay because it's just for the bottom portion to kind of just position it right so that when you're under heavy braking, you don't slide forward in the seat. Power seat settings for everything else. I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of room inside the Z, and I think that's another thing that has always made this car successful is just it really wraps around you like an isotoner glove. And then the steering wheel. They did a beautiful job. Split spoke on the bottom. The gloss black, I'm gonna have to zong because you're gonna get fingerprints on it, but you do have paddles that are large to go up and down that 9-speed automatic. And you do have a nice large digital gauge cluster, but like I said, we're in a convention center and I can't fire this up right now. But guess what? We will be doing a first drive, not only of the Heritage Edition, but also of this one. But until that day comes, we're gonna have to wrap it up from Las Vegas. All right, guys, awesome time being here at SEMA. One of these days you have to get the opportunity to come here because it really is a special experience. But we gotta thank everybody at Nissan USA and the whole team here setting up the display for allowing us some time before the doors open to bring you what they have to kind of show off what Nissan wants, what the customer wants, and hopefully blend those two together. But let me know what you think. Is the Z car that best new sports car that you want to buy? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raise Rise family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood. This is his second time here. We popped this cherry last year, and now he's a pro. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.